Hey, listen, you can't move the ball. Why don't the punter do it? Okay?
Good idea.
You have no offense, you're Iowa. Why don't you let the punter do his thing? You can't score points. You guys suck. Well, let's have the kicker score some points. And then you can't win the game. Let's have the kicker win the game.
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday will be remembered for one thing and one thing alone. That's the Week 10 walk-off bonanza. 5 games had kickers win games for them, and I can't tell you enough how jacked up and zeked I got watching all of them. Because sometimes, a kicker will miss a kick, and people go crazy, even though their team sucks. Their team has been terrible for 4 quarters. Well, you make the kick, we win the game. We don't have to talk about it. It's like, well, maybe you guys run for, 14 yards, have 2 completions. Maybe it wouldn't come down to just this particular kick, but I get it. Do your job. Now, I only get to come out here 4 to 5 times an entire game. If I miss one of them, you're going to kill me forever. You have a chance to do something 20, 30 times a game. You guys have sucked, but you know what? I'll do my job for you on this beautiful Week 10. We're talking about new kickers in new places, saving and winning games for them. And don't look now. Don't look now. Deshaun Watson might be
he might
all
be.
the way.
Deshaun Watson might be Deshaun Watson again. Now, there's a whole conversation that has to take place around Deshaun Watson anytime you mention his name.
Sure, of course.
You guys can have that. We're all thinking the same thing. Went through a lot, put himself through a lot. Very serious allegations took place, a very serious settlement, a lot of time away from football. But every time he got on the field since then, it seemed like he was inching closer back to the old Deshaun Watson. It was kind of exciting. Then he had this injury, fluke injury out of nowhere. He's off the field for a while. He's saying he's not healthy. They're saying he's healthy. Is this going to put a damper on everything? Deshaun Watson's back. Second half yesterday, won 14 for 14 or something like that. Rushed for a bunch of yards. And the end of the game was phenomenal. Here's Deshaun Watson in the fourth quarter. 2 minutes left. 2nd and 19. Straight to Cooper. Okay. That's a big-time ball. Those two are supposed to be the connection for the future for this particular Cleveland Browns team. 31-30. Remember, it's not a tie game because Dustin Hopkins missed a 33-yard extra point earlier in the fourth quarter. Deshaun Watson breaking tackles, spinning, running, doing his. This is old Deshaun Watson.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
He didn't look as fast as old Deshaun Watson. His knee drive wasn't as much. I think he might have been tired here in the fourth quarter, but he was certainly elusive, running, held onto the ball, kept the clock moving too. Smart football from Deshaun Watson. Then he hands it off to Ford. We need one. Stumbling, fumbling, bumbling. Now where are we? Field goal range, baby, with the whole team strumming and mushing for the first down to move that. It's not only Battaglia who gets circled right there, who we absolutely love. It's the whole damn O-line getting in on the mix.
Yeah.
Let's pick him up. Njoku, too, ran right through a human earlier in this game. He's an absolute specimen. Let's go ahead and move the entire pile. Let's out physical. Then, from 40 yards, dead center, Dustin Hopkins out of Florida State says, give me that, let's win. They say, well, there's a flag. We can't let this kicker celebrate, obviously. We've got to call something. Ravens try to jump over the center. It does not matter. We keep it moving. Dustin Hopkins shows up for the Browns in a big way.
Way to go, Dusty.
Way to go, Dustin. Deshaun Watson being back is sweet.
Yeah.
The entire offensive line moving. Jerome Ford for that first down, awesome. Dustin Hopkins hitting a game winner for the Browns, spectacular D-Bud.
Absolutely. And you talk about Deshaun Watson, the way he started off this game, Kyle Hamilton tapped up, pick 6. Started off terrible. I think one of 9 to start off, and then to come back in the second half and finish 14-14, made some plays with his legs. This is what the Browns need. This is obviously what the Browns invested in the quarterback position. With that defense, I mean, they can win any given Sunday with that combination of offense and defense.
And the AFC North, don't look now, pretty wide open. Pretty wide open. Dustin Hopkins, too, another thing that doesn't get talked about. He was aiming left center on that particular upright that he was heading. I think he had some sort of read on the jet stream that was pushing it back to the right. His extra point that he had just missed moments before, that way, he aimed left center and then that thing hooked to the left. For him to stick with his read and hit that thing left center and then for it to tail back for a game winner, beautiful, because you miss that, you lose.
Yeah.
That's not like tie, which happened to a lot of these things. They're up 1 because of your miss. You miss that one again, probably getting fired. Yeah. That's probably the kicking world. Instead, he knocks it home. Browns get a big-time dub. Congrats to them. Let's talk about another walk-off, shall we?
Another?
There's 5 of these.
Holy hell.
Yeah, it was a big-time Sunday. Let's talk about the Detroit Lions being tied with the Los Angeles Chargers, 38-38. This game, sneaky, came out of nowhere to be so incredibly explosive. Anytime Justin Herbert would score with the Chargers, Jared Goff would answer. Kind of becoming the story of the Detroit Lions, the brand new Lions, is that Jared Goff will always answer. He doesn't blink. He doesn't do a damn thing. He just completes balls, and Ben Johnson has people open a lot. He's like Mike McDaniel with the play calls, Darius J. Butler.
He's an unbelievable play call, and they had a 3rd and 1 where they hit the tight end right up the seam for a touchdown. St. Brown, he's always going to dial his guys up to get open and make plays.
Pause this, please. 4th and 2 in field goal range. Okay, they're on the 27, so that would be a 45-yarder in SoFi. Easy kick for anybody that's in the NFL. That would be a 45-yard field goal for Riley Patterson. Okay, 1 minute 46 seconds left. The other team has 1 timeout. Tie ball game. Okay, field goal puts you ahead. Not with Justin Herbert on the other side, says MCDC. They've become an absolute buzzsaw. The old Lions choose to do this. Guess what happens? They don't get it.
Bingo.
1st and 10 going for the Chargers. The brand new Lions, though, as soon as we all saw this call, we go, smart call. Keep Herbert off the field. What does Ben Johnson dial up? Oh, you named it. Jared Goff, Laporta, 1st down. Detroit Lions. That would have been a decision, though. If that does not work.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
That would have made a lot of people go, oh, that's the same old Lions right there. 4th quarter, minute 40 left in the game. You're tied in field goal range. Easily makeable kick. You don't take it. What are you trying to reinvent football? What the hell? Instead, you get MCDC jacked up. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Straight drop back, too, so you trust your quarterback. It's not like you're putting them on the edge to dial up something that's a quick throw in the flat. High-low concept. You trust your quarterback to make the right read, right throw, and he does.
And they win.
Yeah.
Riley hits one for him. Congratulations to the Detroit Lions getting a big-time dub. Foxy, that 4th and 2, I was watching. I'm like, why are we doing this?
Damn.
And then I think to myself, Dan Campbell's not making a wrong decision here.
Never.
Boys, I have seen that game 1,000 times in my life, and every single time we lose that game. That is the definition of the brand new Lions. I knew MCDC was going for it. I was yelling for him to go for it. Earlier in the game, first half of that game, it's 4th and 5. We go for it on just a power run right down the middle, and we get a 1st down. I love this guy, and I want him to go for it on 4th down every single time. Coaching matters in the NFL. MCDC is showing that.
Yeah, but he doesn't always go for it.
Yeah,
Not always.
It was absurd because the second half started, and obviously it was already a shootout in the first half, and I believe the ball was on the 37-yard line for the Lions, and they decided not to kick it. So that's why I almost thought the reason they went for it on 4th and 2 is because they didn't trust him as much. Yeah, and then Jack Fox hit the punt inside the 10. Great punt. And then
37-yarder would have been a 55-yarder. I mean, that's still a bomb. But for them to punt from there is very abnormal for this MCDC Ben Johnson offense. But he's coaching to win, man.
I
He's
love it
coaching
so
to win,
much.
man.
And you know what? The Chargers are the new same old Lions because I feel so bad for those guys. Herbert is like Stafford used to be. He's so close, plays so good, and they just don't win for whatever reason. It's not Herbert's fault because he was on the money the whole game.
Hey, I was about to say, he had a couple that were like,
oh, my gosh.
He was on one yesterday.
That's why I'm not
Keenan
concerned about the
Allen.
defense because Herbert's just that good.
Yeah, the whole Lions fan base, though, whenever I said, this is what MCDC just chose to do in a tweet, kind of laid it out.
Yes.
They were like, yeah, he's coaching to win. He's coaching to win. I love that he's coaching to win. You don't get that.
oh boy.
Oh, my God.
Did you see the throw, too?
What's that?
It wasn't like it was on the money, but boy, it was wobbling.
Yeah,
like
it was a
Peyton
vintage
ball.
golf duck.
Yeah, it was a duck.
There's a
On
lot
the
of
money.
completed ducks yesterday. We're about to see a couple more. Let's go to the Commanders and the Seahawks. Here we go. Sneaky game.
Good game.
Very
Good
sneaky.
game.
Sneaky game. The Commanders have traded away everybody that's good on their defense. Hey, remember, that just happened in the last couple of days. Sam Howell, this quarterback, he's going to put it on you until the end of the game. He's a real gunslinger. He might give the ball to the other team, but he's going to make some big plays. And Geno Smith didn't have his best game, but whenever they needed it, 26-26, he finds this guy that is built like nobody else is built. He's bigger, stronger, faster, more jacked, more ripped, with sweeter earrings and sweeter hair than you. And he finds him twice to get big-time gains, lets the clock run down. Geno Smith, calm, cool, and collected. Let's go ahead and kill this. 3 seconds. Is Jason Myers going to make this kick? Yes. That's all Jason Myers does. We don't really talk about this guy ever as a weapon. Anytime this guy's on the field, the ball's going through the uprights. I think I've seen him miss 2 times.
Yeah.
In like 10 years, it feels like. Crazy. All he does is make kicks. It's not easy to kick up there in the Pacific Northwest either, with the wind and the sound, and every game is a big one and everything like that. He nails it for them. Congrats to the Seahawks being a part of the Week 10 walk-off bonanza. Seahawks, much different this year, even though we're staring at their record right now, very much in the mix of everything in the NFC.
Yeah, nobody expected, I can't think of anyone had a high expectation for the Seahawks last year coming into the year. Obviously, this year, completely different. Some people probably even picked them win that division after all that explosiveness on offense, and then you got better on defense. So you're getting everybody's best shot week in and week out. But like you said, Geno didn't have his best game, but in the biggest moment, put his team in position to win it.
Like Geno didn't have his best game, and who cares because he led him down the field to win it in the end. But boy, there are some times where
he looks bad.
He looks like New York Jet, New York Giant, Geno Smith.
Yeah, and we don't know why that is.
I have no clue.
Don't like it. Number 1 offense in the NFL last regular season.
Yeah.
That's really what they were. As soon as Russell Wilson got out of town, which I've been hearing some rumors about some stuff that Russell Wilson does.
Oh, what type of rumors?
Huh?
What type of rumors?
Just like more weird shit.
Oh, yeah?
Not personal, professional stuff.
Oh, okay. So not
that would make sense.
Not anything freaky.
Like allegedly, like painting the other team's logo on the practice field has to happen. Russ is the one that's kind of the driving force behind it.
Get the boys ready.
It's like, I like that. I kind of appreciate that. But I guess he stopped doing it for a couple weeks, and then is that why they lost it? And then they brought it back this week.
Okay.
So what does that mean for the Buffalo Bills? I don't know. And the reason why I say it's weird shit, I've never heard that before. So it's weird to me. I don't know if I like it or if I hate it, but I know that Russell Wilson's always doing the most. And when he's doing the most, it's like if you win, it's good. If not, it's terrible. Tonight's a big game for Russ. Let's move on. Geno Smith, great year last year. No, it's great this year. Let's go, Geno.
Go, Geno.
Keep going, Geno.
Let's go, Mountaineers. Then we have the Texans, Bengals. This one is one that makes me feel so damn good because there's a rookie quarterback down in Houston right now who's not just up for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
No.
He needs to be in the damn MVP conversation, leading the NFL in pass yards as a rookie for the first time in like forever or something. Now he goes into Joe Burrow's house, into the jungle. They say, "Welcome to the jungle. We are hunting games." CJ said, "I love this. I wish it was a little bit colder because I'd like to be in a cold jungle to get back into Ohio State." Him and Joe Burrow battling, dueling. This is the brand new Joe Burrow who's back from what he was in the earlier year, part of the year where he wasn't that great. 27-27. Joe Burrow just scored. Hey, Rook, are you going to get a first down? Yes, you are. On 3rd and 6. CJ Stroud handles every situation. He looks a guy off. He moves the defender. That guy 57 falls. You know why? Because CJ Stroud looks to his right, then comes back to his left. He's manipulating defense. He did throw a pick earlier. His second one he's ever thrown in the NFL. People wondered if he was broken, if he'd be gunshot. Big dog.
Noah Brown.
2 weeks, 150 yards now. 2 weeks in a row. He's finding a new weapon. Nico wasn't even playing. His number 1 wide receiver wasn't even on the field. Need you to go make a play. Need you to have a drive for the Houston Texans to not only get us in a conversation for the AFC South, but how about the whole damn thing with the way D'Amico Ryans has the defense humming as well. And then in the end, who needs to win it for you? The kicker. 30-27. Amendola, who was kicking with Nick Novak, I believe, last week in San Diego on Instagram, looking for a job. Kaimi Fairbairn hurts himself last week. Dare Ogunbowale kicks for him. They sign Amendola, and what do you need to do? Oh, I don't know. Just make a game winner in Paycor Stadium in front of a Cincinnati fan base that has been compared to colleges around the country. Yesterday, I got to watch Kyler Murray play football.
Yeah, we did.
It was awesome.
And there was a lot of conversation on whether or not Kyler Murray would even come back because this show had Michael Lombardi on, former general manager, who looked through the contract, and there was like another $56 million guaranteed if Kyler Murray came back, played this year, and got injured, or in the practice facility got injured. Similar situation to what happened with Derek Carr, which is why they actually kicked him out of the building. And you could see how maybe that would take place if they were thinking about moving on from Kyler. But all words from that building since jump have been, this is Kyler's team. Yesterday, watching him play football again, it was like, oh yeah, I remember why he signed that massive deal, even though they haven't really won in the end. They haven't made it to a conference championship. They haven't done anything. He's fucking electrifying. He can throw the ball all over the place. And he extends a play late in the 4th where it's just like and they're not going to tackle him there. Even if that guy was in position, no shot. He's been doing that since year 1 here, in college at Oklahoma, in high school in Texas, where he won, I think, like 17 straight state championships in only 4 years of high school, because he's able to do that right there whenever he wants. Drafted top 10 in the MLB and obviously number 1 in the NFL. He had a little moxie too yesterday. He put out a video that said, my perspective has changed after I've been gone for 335 days. They took the game away from me. Maybe this is the most mature Kyler Murray. Maybe this is the best Kyler Murray. And with the way shots are going to be had with new coach Gannon, and that one obviously not the best throwing ball, it's like maybe we're about to see the best Kyler Murray. And there's a game winner for Matt Prater. He's been doing that for 50 years. I think he hit from 55 earlier in the game as well. Just an absolute fucking beast of a kicker, and has been for a long time. It was great to see Kyler back out there, D-Butt.
Absolutely. You say he can play his best football. Why not? He obviously had a perspective, and a lot of people forget about the talent. There has been some, blunders in the playoffs and late in the season. But when you talk about moving on from a quarterback, you just talked about the situation in Green Bay. Like, the grass isn't always green. The dude was drafted number 1 for a reason, made a couple Pro Bowls out of the gate, played well enough to get another deal. Is it a lot of money guaranteed and owed to him? Absolutely, but that's just the price of doing business in the league. So I love to see it for him being back out there. I'm sure the guys in the locker room got a big push from it. And then Jonathan Gannon, I'm sure that was a big part of the conversation when taking the head coaching job. Kyler, this being his team.
Bingo. AJ, what do you think Gannon saw out of Kyler yesterday that he loved? What did you see from Kyler that made you believe, okay, we're about to get the best Kyler? Or did you not see that?
Honestly, I thought it was. I was not shocked, but I was somewhat surprised with how good he looked physically, how well he ran the ball too. Like that, extending the play and then getting that big, huge third down. That's what he's done his whole career. But it's crazy to see his very first game back coming off an ACL. We all know people who've had ACLs talk about that. It's like a big mental hurdle to get over that. Taking some shots, planting everything. He looked like he had zero reservations. He had nothing holding him back, and he's slanging the ball around the yard too, man. He looked good, like very good.
No knee brace either, which, sometimes they just put on there just for like safety or whatever, and a lot of guys hate it. Yeah, AJ, you just said you like that. I'm sure D-Butt said the same thing. I don't think I've ever met anybody other than maybe an offensive lineman who has 4 blown knees who like wearing knee braces. It slows you down. It naturally does. Von Miller, I don't know if he's wearing one tonight, but has been wearing one, and it certainly affected him. So to see Kyler, no knee brace, playing the way that he played, it's like, hey, this dude, they literally waited.
Playing reckless.
100%.
Wouldn't it cool to see him play reckless? Like, hey, was not worried about his own safety or about his knee, which you could easily understood a little bit if he had some of that. But no, he was playing to win. Like, you could tell those comments about like having a new perspective and football being taken away from you. Like, I think that's 100% real. Like, it sucks balls when you can't play. If you're hurt and you're away from your team, especially for this long, like it's pretty difficult.
And you see them have a little bit of success, and people talk about, oh, this Dobbs guy, maybe he's the guy. Mm-hmm. And then you hear people like Lombo say they might try to save money and not put the on the field. It's like that's the first time I assume he's been able to digest a lot of terrible things being said about him. Like, that's a very motivating thing. Does it make you like kind of back down and disappear, or does it make you dial in and get even better? Do you listen to it a little bit? Because during rehab and stuff, you're isolated. There's a lot of time, especially now in 2023, you're on your phone probably, So I assume that he has heard the things that have been said about him over the past, but not in the volume in which I assume during this rehab process was. So if you're an elite talent and you have this new perspective and potentially a whole nother, oh, is that right, mentality?
Yeah.
I think there's a chance. And it's a massive win yesterday. Sucks for Ari.
Yeah, tough.
Sucks for Ari Smith down there in Atlanta. It sucks for them. But for the Cards and their fans, it's like the hope for the future is all the way back after trading away Josh Dobbs, who seemingly gave you the only little glimmer of hope that you had.
Yeah, like the new perspective, absolutely. There's got to be some sort of the reproving to Gannon and those guys. Like, hey, this wasn't – obviously you guys didn't pay me, but I am still the right guy for this job, because watching him play when he's playing like that is one of the most entertaining quarterbacks in the NFL. And granted, he's throwing to Trey McBride, who was a third-round pick, and Hollywood Brown and stuff, but this is also his first season with Arizona, right, in the last few years without D-Hop, and he's still balling without D-Hop.